I should have played something slow, PR Cowboy. I mean, we should have did some sad singing and some slow driving, man. I tell you.
Some end
But
of the road by Boys to Man or something, man.
yeah, man, to the road. Yeah. What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan, sitting here on What's Up Wins with our guy PR Cowboy. Let's give it up. Yeah, I should have played something, man. I should have played some sad singing, slow driving type of music, man. And that's the good one too. End of the road by the Boys. That would have been a great song to play, man. Oh man. Oh, here we are, man. On What's Up Wednesday. We already know what's up. It's just like the title says, the energy has been snatched from the Cowboys.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know. How you feeling right now, brother? How you feeling when I get everything set up?
I mean, I felt this way once the injury to our quarterback, and he was out for the season already. And then, you know, I just wanted to see the young guys perform. There was some hopes, we were going to get a run going, maybe get a chance at the playoffs here. But
yeah,
just after Monday night, it's not even the loss that's bothering me. It's the players we lost, and that's what kind of sucked it out even more. Which I'll get into that on the stick and shut in.
Yeah,
as well.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into it. Before we do, let me bring on our next guy that always comes through for us, and he's another multitasker. Can watch over all of the employees and talk about our Cowboys and all that good stuff at the same time. It's our very own Cowboys champ. Give it up. Cowboys champ.
How you doing?
How's it going, man?
Brother?
Doing all right.
All right. So we're gonna get into this. Before we get started, we gotta do what we always do. Gotta talk about our sick and shut in, and PR Cowboy is gonna bless us, which I think we already know who's on the sick and shut in. But
Yeah.
Pete, go ahead and fill us in what we got, what maybe something we missed.
Yeah, we got it's a laundry list out there, and but we got a lot of full practice guys. We got Tyler and Diggs and Marshawn Eland. Those guys are getting full practice. But Cooper Beebe, one of the big ones, concussion. With it being a Monday night game, I don't feel he'll probably be ready for Sunday to go. So missing our young rookie, and the big one, man, is Overshow, man. That's the one that I feel like took the air out of us yesterday, and not just having the loss, but I feel losing our best defensive player for possibly the rest of the 2025 season as well. It looks like he might not be even ready till 2026. And I hope we're not sitting here wondering what could have with this guy. I hope he comes back. I hope he's, beats this and this comes back stronger than ever. And that's the big one right there, man. It's just Overshown, man. We just gotta hope he gets back. And like I said, we're gonna sit here and talk about what we need to fix, but that's a big one going into next season, knowing you're not gonna have that guy on your defense all of next year, and it's tough to swallow right now.
Yeah. Before we go any further, man, we definitely got to give a big shout out to our fire starter, man. Patrick Ryder, man, he will not be on the show tonight, man. Let's continue to lift his family up as well as he has lost his father, I think on today. So Patrick Ryder is definitely one that is a major piece to the Cowboy Huddle podcast. We appreciate everything he does. And from the Cowboy Huddle podcast, we are sending up prayers to him and his family at this time of mourning. Okay. Our prayers go out to the family. Also, we want to give a big prayer to Fleabug. I think she was going through some issues this morning as well. Today I got a phone call. I didn't get a chance to ask her what was going on, but she wasn't feeling too well either. So our prayers going out to Fleabug as well. So Cowboys champ, you're there, man. So what about this loss of the Marvin Overshown? We just gonna get right into it. We ain't gonna mess around. I don't got nothing scripted today. We gonna just talk. Barbershop talk today. That's what we do, and that's what we're gonna do today. Straight barbershop talk. So Cowboys champ, how are you feeling? And I know how you're feeling. So what do we do now?
Man, okay, here's the deal. When I got home, I briefly started thinking a Cowboy player got injured. So I didn't know it was Overshawn. And once I went back and saw the injury, man, I was sick. I mean,
Yeah,
that's our best player. And then turn around to see Parsons walking off the field before the game ended. Yeah, we've seen that before with other players. But what makes this so different, when the Cowboys was losing, he was just laughing on the sideline. No, normally he go out the field, exchanging jerseys. But when he opened up his big mouth last week, talking about we're not done yet, and then uh, his numbers, he had 0 tackles, 0 pressure, 0 sacks, 0 everything. Then he want to try to make it like uh, he will actually try to compare himself to Jordan and Kobe as far as taking a loss bad. And that was on his podcast yesterday, just in case anybody want to go back and see it. Yeah, that's what he said on his podcast. And then I'm arguing with people talking about that's our best player. Hell no. Look what Overshawn had done this year for this team, man. I you know what? If one person who I would build around would be Overshawn. But I'm gonna have to give a shout out to my boy Danny Savage. He was saying that Overshawn's size also Cowboy 1980. I shout out to him too. Both these guys said that Overshawn's size is a little too small for him to be playing linebacker like that. But even though he was alive, he started at safety at Texas in college. And remember now, this is a Dan Quinn draft pick. And I mean, when I talk about injury, really it was a fluke accident because a player ran back into him. And my thing is, to play Overshawn like that, you're going to have to play him in spaces. So, I mean, but yeah, I pray that the kid get back healthy.
yeah,
But as far as that loss, I mean, my heart, I wanted them to win, but my mind, bitter side, this is a good loss because we went from 15 to number 10 in the draft pick.
yeah,
But
yeah,
people shouldn't be surprised. The Cowboys, and I don't care if Dak was playing. This year team, they were trash. They were going to be
yeah.
trash. They
Cowboys
started.
champ, Cowboys champ. Your mic is kind of choppy. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of choppy. You kind of we can hear.
Maybe,
Is that does it sound the
maybe
same
get
with
out,
you,
come
Pierre
back on.
Cowboy?
Let me get out, come back on.
Okay. Just come back on. Because as you sounded a little choppy, I noticed that last week it was kind of choppy, and there's some good stuff that he's saying. But I want everybody to hear what he's saying. But until he comes back, so PR Cowboy, the situation with DeMarvian, man. I mean, that was a tough blow, and it's not the left, it's the right this time, and I think he was the MCL, ACL, and PCL
ACL,
or something like that.
PCL.
It's
Yep,
a
all of
bad
it,
one.
man. It's a bad one. And like they said, they're looking not even being ready till 2026. And it's so tough because man, we were so excited for him to come back from the last injury he had, and for him to show out like he has been showing out all year long. That's why I feel he's our best defensive player. I'm along with there, but like most of the people have been saying, like I would build around him. That's the guy I would build around. I mean, and now you're gonna come in and say like, man, is he gonna withhold within the season now with two, major injuries 2 years in a row, man? And I hope he does. I hope he comes back and he proves us wrong. But man, that's just like I said, that took me out. Like that's just we're gonna talk about making this team better for next year, man. There's a whole nother piece you got to put in now because he's gonna be out all of next year. So
Yeah,
it's
Okay, guys,
tough,
what about
man.
now?
yeah, we could hear you. But
Okay.
yeah, so this is the thing, man, as far as that's gonna be a big missing piece. That's going to be a very big missing piece. And knowing that you had Michael Parsons back out there, it just elevated the defense. To see him go down like he did, man, it was bad. It was bad, and the way he's been playing. And one thing about I can say this about ACL, the same experience that we experienced with our son when he tore his ACL, man. The hardest thing to do when you come going through a recovery is trusting that leg. And a lot of times players seems to favor that leg, and what they fail to realize, Daniel, forget his last name, which is the surgeon there. He always tell the players, listen, your this leg is as strong as your other leg. You just have to learn how to trust it. But to see Overshawn come out there and go 100% like he was doing, man, without seeing the limp or anything or the favoring, it was a great look, and he was doing great things. So yeah, that is going to be a major blow. Along with Josh Butler, I got Josh Butler as well, man. It's just the game is unforgiving for sure, man. And again, our prayers goes out to Overshawn and Cooper Beebe as well. So
I got a
what do you
question.
think?
I got a question for y'all guys. Have y'all noticed you don't see a lot of players wearing knee braces like they used to?
No, they don't. They don't. No, dude. They don't. Yeah, back in our time, bro, we wore butt pads and neck rolls and we wore elbow pads. We wore all the protective gear. And the shoulder pads were a lot bigger. You
Yeah,
didn't hear about shoulder injuries because our players was protected. But now everything is minimized. These guys are actually wearing shorts, basically tight shorts. And
man,
that's just
man. You know what? Old school is still the best school, man. I mean, if they, I mean, I know a lot of times they'll say, especially by somebody who speed, they'll say that the knee brace will be hindering their speed. But I'd rather hinder my speed instead of my knee messing up.
Yeah, well, yeah, and a lot of that goes towards what we're playing on too. We're playing on artificial grass now. That's
Yeah,
unforgiving too. So again, these guys used to play on grass. Your footing would give or something. You would slip before your foot actually planted into the turf. But yeah, that's neither here or there. That's just where we are today, man. It's just the game is faster. It's I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it more violent or more safer. I don't know. I mean,
nah, it's not more violent. Nah, I think it's just the fact that
exactly.
I think it's more softer
I
because
think it's more. I think it's more injury prone
Yeah.
yeah, because
because
in training camp they don't hit no more.
no,
Well, and I think that's part of the issue, right? The whole training camp deal is like you're so limited, and we've talked about this every year. G, when the tackling's poor at the beginning of the season, the first month of the season, there's poor tackling. There's a lot of penalties. There's always this and that because of this, and
Exactly.
then you can add the injury. You can add the injuries to that list too because it's just where you're just not. You go out there and just all right. Let's go full blast. We haven't done this all summer, but we're gonna go full blast week one. Let's go.
yeah. Well, and I watch. I tell you, I go to the training camp each year, man, and I sit out there and I watch these guys, and basically the game has become a two below type game. If anybody don't know what that is, I mean just two hand touch. There's no wrapping up. I mean, and we also know that Mike McCarthy conducts a practice that keeps his players healthy. There's no full speed. Okay, so you're going throughout the whole OTAs training camp going less than 50%. I give them 50%. I give them for what I see, it's 50%. But again, there's no physical contact um in these practices. A lot of conditioning, but there's no full speed, just the routine that they go through is just has speed. But not only that though, Cowboys champion PR Cowboy, another problem is we do not allow our starters to play preseason. So it's probably about the fourth week or fifth week before they're actually going 100 miles an hour. Next thing you know, what happens? Hamstrings, ankle twist, shoulder injuries, because the body is not prepared to go from 50 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour overnight. And that's just the way we practice. So I don't know. I just think that has a lot to do with injuries as well, man. And then, like I said, how they conduct the practices, knowing that these players are high paid players, so they're trying to protect their investment. I guess. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. That's what I think.
I think, I mean, it's just a new way. It's just like they cut one preseason game. So you got three preseason games to try to figure out what you got. Most teams are doing that. They're not even playing their starters that last preseason game, like what we're accustomed to seeing, where it's like that third to last one, where hey, we're gonna play them a quarter, we're gonna play them a half,
Hmm.
and you maybe see what two or three teams that do it, and the rest of the league that don't. So it's just a new way to go. And you hit it right on the spot, Gene. That's what you expect them to go out 100 miles per hour, and just go put a hit on somebody, and and like you said, these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and you just see it every year. You see it all year long, and it's something major all the time, and now you're trying to add more games to them. So
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot, a lot of times the first game in a season, really, that's the preseason for the starters. And then by the time you get to week 4, that's when a lot of teams uh, you get adjusted to where they at. And you could be doing this during the preseason, but the NFL they taking away like you said they took one preseason game and make it to 17 games, and then
Yeah,
they talking about making an 18 game league. That means you're gonna have two preseason games,
yeah. And again,
and
mhm.
I mean it really. I hate to say it, but if this the way they going, it's gonna be more injuries, and then pretty soon it's just gonna be touch football.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing that. They might as well put flags on the quarterback because there's nothing. Tom Brady came up with a interesting rule. He said that needs to be applied is basically about these quarterbacks, taking off running and these offensive coordinators creating these plays for these quarterbacks, but then you want to protect the quarterback. He said there should be a penalty for a quarterback to do a late slide. If you're going to create, if you don't want your quarterbacks to get hit, quit designing plays for them to run. He said, but if you're going to create plays for them to run, there should be a penalty if they run all the way down the field and wait till the last second to slide. In which it makes sense because basically the penalty goes towards the defender if he's sliding or whatever. So he's the one get penalized for it.
and that
I
quarterback's
agree.
putting himself at risk plus the defender at risk because if that defender, whatever makes a weird move and he tears something, it's just one of those things. You're putting both. That's a risk factor.
Facts, facts, facts. So let's get into this real quick, guys. And I understand that there's a lot going on, but what we thought would probably happen, and some of us probably had our fingers crossed for this to happen. Well, it's not going to happen. That's right. Bill Belichick looks like he is finalizing a job with the University of North Carolina. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it has been told that Patriots six Super Bowl under Bill Belichick. He has won more as an assistant coach with New York Giants. He enters the college football with 333 NFL wins behind only Don Shula of all time record of 342nd. So now North Carolina fired the 73-year-old Mac Brown on November 26 after a 6-6 season, ending his second stint at the school with a 44-33 record over 6 years. Now, Belichick has spent away a year from the sidelines doing multiple media jobs while making it clear he wanted to return to coaching. But sources told ESPN that a return to coaching in a journal had been paramount for Belichick. Okay, so look like he's finalizing and familiarizing himself with the transfer portal in the NIL. So, guys, what do y'all think? What are you thinking about this situation? I mean, were you hoping that we would get Bill Belichick here with the Cowboys? PR Cowboy, what you think? I mean, how you feeling about this latest
I,
news?
w- I was one for not wanting. I did not want Belichick. I made that very clear. Now, my my judgment on if we do, my opinion still, I think we're going to sign McCarthy either a 2 year extension, 3 year. That's my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to be mad about it either. Uh, but if we do bring somebody in, I do want it to be somebody with head coaching experience. And now Belichick does have the head coaching experience, but I don't feel like, we probably get 3 years, 4 years out of him. And I want a coach that's going to come in to be able to be a tenured coach and have success for a long time.
Okay.
So my two picks after what if Belichick, if we win a different round, we've talked about this before, and I've had my opinion on some coaches, and I've gone, the weeks have passed, and I've kind of looked at it. I have my three guys, and my three guys would be uh, defensive coordinator for Minnesota. Brian Flores is one.
Hmm.
Mike Vrabel's number two. And if the Browns were to release Kevin Stefanski, I wouldn't. I would take him also. I don't have a problem with Kevin Stefanski. I feel like he's done okay for what he has there in Cleveland. And but like I said, at the same time, I'm not going to be mad if we bring back McCarthy. I'm not. I will not be one of those ones yelling at across the room that we brought him back.
Ooh. All right, Cowboys champ, how you feeling about Bill Belichick getting the job?
Give
And
me
it's
one
not with
second, man. I'm sorry.
and, it, and it's not with the Cowboys.
I'm happy
It's going
he's
to be
not here, but it won't work with Jerry.
Yeah.
Man, Jerry. Jerry ego will be in the way because as soon as I'm just saying if who came here and got a little success, Jerry ego probably blow up and he'll do something to get him fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, really, and plus he's too old. This is a young man game. He
Yeah.
is. I'm ready. Even though he is a defensive minded coach, I do agree with PR Cowboy. The Cowboys do need a defensive minded coach, Gabriel, somebody like that to bring
Hmm.
in. But also, the GM is still the problem.
Yeah.
Jerry be the GM. That's still the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Belichick does in the college level. I mean, I am very intrigued by that, about with the whole NIL and transfer portal and all that, how he handles that. So I will be tuning into that. It's going to be very interesting in that aspect for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I like you, PR Cowboy. I wasn't really looking forward for Bill Belichick right now. Again, man, I'm looking for somebody that has a innovative mind, creative, and bringing something new to the table. I mean, I know we all could probably have different opinions on that, but I just really feel that it's time for something different. But now we talk about Mike McCarthy returning. And like you said, PR Cowboy, you're okay with that? Personally, I am not. I am not. And the reason I say that is because we're finna find ourselves another 8 years of Tony Romo and Jason Garrett. That's where we're heading again. And I just think there's a lot of more young, innovative, creative coaches out there that can probably come. We have to do so. I don't think the fan base is even going to buy that. I don't know. I guess BR, you can kind of explain what it is that we can get from Mike McCarthy coming back. I mean, what do you see if he returns, and how will it be better for us?
I don't like. I don't think there's a coach with this talent that we have could do anything. I feel like we have a talent issue, not a much as a coaching issue. I feel uh, with all the injuries we endured all year, like I get it. We've seen the red zone issues. All that falls on McCarthy, all this stuff, right? And my mind beside is if you do extend them, I don't think it'll be more than a 2 year extension, right? I say just 2 years. You add to his deal. If they go into next year and we're sitting here in the same spot again, then you can, then you can do your head coaching uh, shopping, and you can get rid of him middle of the season if you want to do that. But I just feel like he's earned another year just to, like, I get it. We expect Super Bowls, and we went through Jason Garrett years of making playoffs, missing playoffs, making playoffs, and we gave 9 years of that, and we were tired of it after year five. I know I was. So with
Right.
Jason Garrett, after year five, I was done with it, and we kept him 4 more years. So, um, and I just thinking about how Jerry is, I just the way he thinks, I just feel like he's going to give McCarthy another year or two, and I'm just not going to be mad about it because I've seen the guy win. I've seen him win, and like I said, it's not to level what we want to, right? It's what we want more, and I get that, but I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't know if there's a coach out there that could have done any better with this team. Ben Johnson, anybody, I just don't see it. I just feel there's more of a talent issue of like we said last week, we don't have a two receiver. We don't, the offensive line was a whole shuffle deal. Defensive injuries, well, we didn't get Diggs and Bland on the field till last week together. And now, so that's just my take on it, man. Like I said, I'm not going to be upset about it. It's just
Yeah.
if he decides it, it is what it is.
And I get you. I get what you're saying. I mean, why rock the boat? But damn, the rock. Personally, to me, the boat has already been rocked. It's damn near about to tilt over. I mean, it's just. I mean, if we're concerned, I mean, yeah, you don't just go out there and go grab Kellen Moore. I'm sorry, that's just not head coach material. I mean, I don't think he can win over the locker room. I mean, he's just not that guy. But this is a name that's coming up that could probably be one of our head coach. That's more softness on top of softness. I'm sorry. Everybody that's a coordinator doesn't necessarily mean that they're a head coach. But I don't know, man. I don't I'm
And I feel like that's my worrisome about bringing in like a Ben Johnson. Like you said it right there. Not everybody that's a coordinator is a head coach. And yes, he has a great, but I mean, he has Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, St. Brown, Laporta, great offensive line down there in Detroit. So he's done wonders down there, right? And I know just a few years ago, everybody was calling for Eric Bieniemy to be our head coach, and he's nowhere to be found anywhere now. He just got let go from UCLA, I believe.
yeah,
So that's where I just, if you're not going to bring in a guy that's been a head coach, like I said, a
period.
Vrabel or something like the experience, I don't. Then just stay with McCarthy. That's just my opinion on it. Just from the team that we have. That's just because of the team we have. If we were starting over, young quarterback, young this that, I'd be okay with that move because you want that guy. But I'm just not in the business of right now, like how we were with Garrett, waiting for him to learn how to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a guy coming. Oh, he's learning to be a head coach.
Yeah.
And and that's why you feel like you see guys all the time come from other, like I said, if the Browns were to let go of Stefanski, I don't know how y'all feel about him. I feel like he runs a pretty good similar offense to like
Who is
McVay
this?
and Kevin Stefanski from Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I feel for what he's been dealt with there in Cleveland. They
Right.
pretty much threw Deshaun Watson on him. I feel
Yeah.
like he's done a pretty good job there.
Yeah. Well, that's a name that be thrown in the hat. Again, like I say, here we are, man. It's just the mood right now, the energy right now, as far as what our Cowboys, it's. I mean, it's like the air has been let out the team. I mean, for me, it's just like wow, and then I'd go to work Monday, Tuesday, went to work Tuesday, and I had to take it. I had to take it. But before we go any further, because we can get into some business. Hopefully, Cowboys champ will come back on, but we got somebody else, so I guess we can get this party started since we got another familiar face in the house, and it's no other than Chip Game Sports TV. Give it up, Chip Game Sport TV in the house. How you doing, brother?
Salute. You're not rocking with the best. Chip Game Sports TV. Glad to be in the building. Sad we got this season. How you doing?
Hey man, we
Can you
just
hear
we
me,
just
fam?
riding the waves of emotions right now, brother.
It's heavy
So
duty. It's a terrible season we got going on. How's my volume coming in? Am I coming in clear?
you coming in clear, brother.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. G. I was distraught Monday night. I was distraught uh, Tuesday. Right now, I'm just looking at the what it is for real. Time to build for the draft. It's time to put the young quarterback in, and let's just go ahead and look what we're gonna do next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what do we the question is, what are we fighting for? What I mean, how do you keep this team motivated? I mean, what we saw on Monday night is the hope that we had. I said that this game was going to be the telltale sign of where we go from here. We win this game, I mean, the train continues to move. But if we lose this game, the train comes to a halt. And I don't know, as a coach, now you have to, keep your players' mentality and energy up to finish these last four games. I mean, how do we go about doing that? Or do we do that, Chip Game Sport?
I think right now, you know, it, don't do we worry about winning? You
Damn.
want to keep the fight. You want to keep the juices going. You want some energy. But at the same time, the way I see it now, I would love to win. Don't want to lose. But it's time to see who we have on this squad, who's on this team. Uh, I'm gonna tell you like this: if CD, your shoulders banged up and all this, I need him to go ahead and sit down. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's bring somebody else on up and let's do it. Now I know CD has dog in him. He's shown some leadership traits fighting through these injuries, but he's banged up now. You know what? I need CD to sit down. Maybe it's guys that had a little something. It's time for them to sit down. Let's see who our young guys are. Let's see who the guys that's on the cusp of doing something and figure out who we're going to keep, who we're going to let go. Because I'm looking forward to next year.
Wait a minute, Chip. How are you going to evaluate a bunch of fours?
You heard
Did you
it?
get did you get that, Chip?
I might have to go out. I might have to go out and come back in. My signal. I might have to go out and come right back in. My signal is leaving me.
Okay, come on back.
I'm fading on my end, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go out and come right back in.
Okay, all right. So with that being said, PR Cowboy, she, I mean, we gave Ryan Flanoy a chance to get out there and catch the ball. The ball's coming right at Ryan Flanoy, and he falls on his face. Jalen Tolbert. I mean, Jalen Tolbert, what do we need to hand the ball off to you? Do we need to walk out to where you are and put the ball in your hand? I mean, and then Mingo. Mingo, where are you, Mingo? Mingo bingo. I mean, what? So we got a receiver problem. There outside of CD and Brandon Cook, there's nothing. But and here's the question: why do we wait so late to bring in Cavante Turpin on the offense? What was that about, PR Cowboy?
That's a good question. I mean, and you can see he's your explosive player that you have, other than Lamb when he touches the ball. And we've been calling this for a couple of years, I guess, already too, about Turpin getting more touches.
Yeah,
And and it is just tough, man. I don't know what it is, but even at that, and then you get Cooks running these comeback routes. He's 5 foot nothing, and the defenders just all over him. These comeback routes where he should be running slants or deeps or goals. That's where he, you know, and it's tough to watch. But and that's where we just kept coming back to is we, you know, you may see coaching problem with that, with you not putting those players in, but then you just say, well, we have a talent problem too because you're having to put those, you know what I'm saying? So it goes hand in hand together with those guys, and like you said, and I get it, I see it too. I'm like I said, I understand why people want McCarthy gone because of stuff like that. I get that part.
See,
And I just don't have the answer for that, man. I don't know.
see, here's the deal, man. I mean, you know, to hear Mike McCarthy rebuttal against Dak and said he has had more what do you call it? He had more say so with the Cowboys than he did with the Green Bay Packers. So I'm like, okay, so you're basically going to take blame for where we are because we have major problems. We have major problems. We don't run the ball like we should. We can't throw the ball like we should. But we continue to say it's Jerry and we say it's Steve. But then you got Mike McCarthy say, oh, well, I got more say so with this. I don't know what Dak's talking about, but I have more say so with Cowboys than I do with the Packers. So this is the reason I have a problem with Mike McCarthy right now because, you know, we asked him questions. He dances around the questions and, you know, he tiptoes around the question. But again, the question has to be asked, how do we go about fixing this Cowboys team? 'Cause-
You hear me?
yeah.
Okay. Say that again, G. Didn't catch the last part.
So basically, I'm just saying, if you look at the situation that we have, and we're noticing this as what Chip Game Sports was talking about, the receivers. But again, like I asked the question, how can you evaluate a bunch of fours? And when I say fours, fourth
Yeah.
round receivers, we've seen it. We saw Ryan Flanoy run out there and ball coming to him, he falls flat on his face. We saw Jalen Tolbert drop the ball several times. I mean, you know, we see Mingo and then we don't see Mingo. So I don't know. So that was the question, Chip. How do we evaluate a bunch of fours?
And spot on, G. It's it's a heavy duty thing to try to evaluate in the first place. Because the sad thing is, you had, like you say, we got fours. We got this amazing stud, CD Lamb, and really nowhere else to look. I think evaluating these guys, you need to. Some of these, I wouldn't even bring. I don't know about Flanoy, but Tolbert, we gave you time and time and again. Let's go ahead and cut that loose. I want to see what we got left. Let's see if we could build something with Schoonmaker, and of course, pull. I look at somebody that's on the practice squad. I don't know what type of receivers are there, but like Mingo, that's it. We're not coming back with you. Flanoy, don't know what happens with that one. Maybe you give him another shot. But Tolbert, we've been around the mulberry bush once too many
Yeah,
times. Let's move on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
so true.
And I think at other positions too, you can like the offensive line, you can play with that a little bit. You can move Tyler to
Yeah,
natural right side and take Steele out. Just do it. Be done. Just take Steele out.
Right.
Move Tyler to your right side. I think me personally, just going forward for next year at offensive line, I would. This is me personally. If Zach Martin decides to come back, if they do bring him back and he decides to come back, you keep Cooper at center. You put Brock Hoffman at left guard. You move Tyler Smith to left tackle, and you move Guyton to right tackle. And that can essentially give you a quick fix at your offensive line because it gives you. We know Hoffman's a nasty guy, and he brings some energy to that offensive line. So I feel like that can really help this O line going forward if that was the case.
it's a business move. Again, I said it once before. If Tyler Guyton is not ready for the left tackle, let's move him to the right tackle. But I think the only thing that hurts us there is because of the pay that the pay rate that our guy Terrence Steele is making. So unless you can get a trade out of Terrence Steele, which would be great, you know, but I really just don't see Guyton at the moment right now being that starter right now because you know they thought it was going to be an easy transition, but obviously it's not as easy as we thought it would be. So it's okay to say, hey, Tyler Guy, we're going to move you back to right tackle. But I think that's the easiest part is the front line. But again, we have to talk about again when we talk about this receiver because really and truly, CeeDee Lamb is a slot receiver along with Brandon Cooks. We actually have two slot receivers that's trying to play the outside. And then you bring Cavante. So we got a bunch of shorties, and we don't have a true outside. I think CD does more damage as a slot receiver um, than an outside receiver. But again, that's something that we have to do some evaluation on. So I don't know, guys. It's just where I think about. That's where I see it. But maybe you guys, see it a different way. But that's something that needs to be done.
Yeah, I think, and who knows with that first pick, do we look receiver to bring on to help with CD? I don't know
Yeah.
what they do. Like you said, we have so many spots where we do need, and I mean, me personally, I take the best player available instead of taking like if it's a defensive lineman and he's the best player available, take that defensive lineman. If it happens to
Right.
be a receiver, then take that receiver.
Right. So I got to take a channel identification. So when we come back, we're going to get into this Micah Parsons conversation, and then we have a audio of Amani Arorie, and we're going to get into that. So just stay tuned for a second. Here we go. All right, appreciate y'all. Again, do me a favor if you hadn't done it yet. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button because guess what? It costs you absolutely nothing. And also, I didn't get a chance to say this. I want to say big shout out to all our subscribers and everybody that's following this channel. Again, like I always say, without you guys, this is absolutely impossible. So thank you and give it up for our subscribers. So with that being said, guys, everybody's seen the video. Everybody's talking about it. The Micah Parsons behavior on the sideline. And we're going to get into why his behavior was like it was after we talk about Micah Parsons' behavior. But it seems that Micah Parsons was upset. And I think he had every right to be upset. But some are saying that he had a right to do what he did, and some say he didn't have a right to do what he did. So I want to ask you guys and all these and everybody that's in the comments, I would like to know how do y'all feel about Micah Parsons, how he carried on after the game on Monday night. Starting with you, PR Cowboy, what do you think and what did you see?
Well, when I saw him going crazy on the sideline, just saying why, which I get it. Like it was just one of those plays where, like I said, Leon Lett 2.0 happened, I'm just like I was just stunned myself. But I hope it was like a real reaction from Micah. But something just telling me is if they were showing him on that big screen on the sideline, if I just want to know if they were showing him, and when he saw himself, he just got more enthusiastic about it. I really believe that if that happened, I believe he would do something like that. But hopefully, it was a real reaction. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it with his reaction, man. If it was real, like man, you just came off the field, you made a big stop for your team, and you put yourself in a situation to win that game. To lose on a play like that, I get it, man. It's not that I can understand the pain if it really was, really him feeling that way.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. So Chip, what do you think, brother? How you feel about the situation with Micah? I mean, was it too dramatic or was it acceptable?
Well, going from the end before the beginning, what I want to say about it is, I hope that it was sincere and that it bears some fruit. I hope those actions bear fruit. Now, qualifying what I just said, I think the emotions was pure, um, based on the comments he made in prior weeks. I don't know, you guys can count us out, but we're a very good team. We're still. I'm not laying down for nobody. I'm not mailing it in. I'm not giving up. So fight was in him, and he could have made more tackles, but he had enough disturbance back there to show me that he was serious. He getting double teamed all day long. So I think what's hitting him is we were right there,
Dang.
and one mistake. All of my hard work for the last few weeks, everything I'm trying to do, we were right there, and we blew it. I think it's a we thing. I don't think he's necessarily upset with young AO like I was that night, but I think it was a real, just like that was a knee jerk reaction for the kid that touches the ball. That's a knee jerk emotion that I think was pure for Parsons, knowing that it's all over now for this season.
Yeah. Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Chip, and you too, PR Cowboy, because I really think that, man, one thing about Parson, I mean, yeah, we kind of cringe because of his podcast and things like that, and he's a young man, and he does what he do, but watching him play like he played and taking himself out on that sideline, breathing, gasping for air because he's playing lights out, trying to make a difference in this game. We saw it. And I was like a few times, like, okay, Parson, catch your win, get back out there. But this is just how hard this man was playing to where he was, on the sideline. I understand the camera was catching him, but this just shows me the winning attitude that Michael Parson had. We need somebody. I don't want to keep hearing, well, it's unfortunate where we had a chance. What we've been hearing from some of the other players and some of the coaches. Michael Parson is not doing that. He's not. Like he said, it's unbelievable. I can't believe this. So he's answering questions. He's being animated because of the passion of the game. It's football. These guys are emotionally engaged in a game. So if you're expecting these players to sit on the sideline and just say, "Oh well, it's okay," no, it's okay to get pissed off. It's okay to storm off the field and run to the damn locker room. Excuse my language. Run off the field because you're so pissed because you know that game was won, and he realized what we see right now. The air has been pulled out of this team. The energy has been taken out because he knew that this could have been the stepping stone, just like you and I, the way we think. So no, I don't think it was too much. I think it was more him showing his passion for the game, how upset he was. So I can't take that from a player that's been animated because he wants to win.
Yeah, and this is the things that like when we go back and talk about hey, we need new coaches, we need a new quarterback. When we talk about all these things, these are the type of plays that have followed us for so many years. The Romo bot snap, the Dez catch, the dropped interceptions by Diggs in the end zone against the 49ers, the Cavante Turpin not turning it right, turning back infield for the kick return. There's all these things just never have not bounced our way, and they've happened in worse situations in the playoffs. And when we're trying to get over that hump, there's this some reason the Patrick Payton drop pass. He can list all these things. This thing has followed us for years. So what coach, what quarterback is going to fix all these things that happen in these moments?
And, and you know what, GMP, what I think can happen here. Let's ball this emotion up, and those bad feelings that you got right now. Let that carry you into the off season. Get totally pissed off about the fact that we didn't make it. Because done are the days of the clap 'em up Garrett days. I need
Right.
some emotion in there. Show me that you care. I'm glad you care. Put that together and let's go win.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where we are. I mean, we got the 12-5 for 3 season. It was just disappointing we lost. But this is like rock bottom right here. This is rock bottom right here. So yeah, we might need this, but again, I can definitely value each one of you guys' opinion. But again, it is what it is. I think we all agree the same thing. He's just the passion of the game. But here's some comments. Let's get into some of these comments, and then we're gonna get into this audio that we got of AO. I got Jeff. Jeff Summers said it took 10 games to find out what Rico could do. They don't know what to do with talent. Wow, give it up. That is a good one. God. Took 10 games, and that is so we continue to say it was Jerry Jones, it was Stephen Jones. But then you got Mike McCarthy. Oh, I had more input with the Cowboys than I did with the Packers. So why are we blaming Jerry? Why are we blaming Steven? Well, Mike, if that's the case, you got a lot to do with this as well. I mean, what do you think about this comment, Chip?
Awesome comment. And he hit it right on. And it's a doggone shame that we had a guy all year long that we wouldn't allow to get in the rhythm of the game. We wouldn't allow him to find the pace that he needed. You got a 100-yard guy. This guy should have well over 1,000 yards toting the rock, but he should also have some yards catching. I think we got a dual threat with Rico. This offseason, get a number, second rounder, third rounder, and keep Rico, and you could go somewhere. It's a shame it took 10 games. Jeffrey Summers, good stuff.
What do you think about this, Jeff? I mean, Pete, what do you think?
Oh, he's right. I was pissed about it. You could go back 2 years when it was Zeke's last year. Remember his last year on the team? We played the 49ers. Tony Pollard gets hurt in that game.
Yeah.
And we just lean on Zeke the whole game, knowing we need to give Zeke the help. We don't even give Rico a chance in that game to be a difference maker. I go back to that game when he should have had his opportunity to do something. And and we've said it for the last couple off seasons, like, hey, Rico shows some good stuff. Every once in a while, we just want to see it see if we can do it consistently. But if you don't get those chances, how are you supposed to show it?
Yeah, so true. Great comment, Jeff. That's my guy. He works with me. He calls Jerry Jones 4.5. Right behind Dak. Dak is 4 and he's 4.5. All right, give it up for Jeff one more time. Great comment. Felicia Collins, she says, I feel he had the right to be upset and walk off how he did. I mean, I think we agree with that. I mean, it was frustrating. It was frustrating. We're going to get in one more comment, and then we're going to go into this audio. Larry G is in the house. Give it up for Larry G. Larry G said, I was mad too, G. The Cowboys gift wrapped the Bengals the game. That's exactly what we did, Pete. Gift wrap.
We did. Gift wrap, man. It was man, he blocked that, and I was jumping up. I was like, yo, get away from the ball. Get away.
Yeah.
Peter.
For sure, man. And that was the thing, man.
You want to work in tech and earn a higher salary.
It was crazy that how that took place like it did, man. But I want to get into this video. Let me get this ready for us, guys, because I want y'all to hear what AO had to say. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get into it. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Tell me if you guys can hear it.
Like I said, it was in the moment I'm taking my guy, and it kind of heard a thump. Didn't know what that was. It could have been a punt, could have been blocked, whatever it was. But all I know is I turned around to react like any athlete would, and saw the ball there, and in a split decision, made a decision to go try to secure the ball, and that's just part of the game. I felt like it was something that I felt in that moment was a reactionary thing to do, and so I'm standing by it. So
as soon as it.
Well, there you have it. He said he's standing by. That's something he decided to do. He heard a thump. Now, my problem is, dude, you hear a thump. If you're on special teams, you need to know that sound. I'm just saying, you need
especially
to
when
know
you're
that sound.
especially when your special teams coach called for a block punt. You got to know. Yeah, I don't know.
Pete, I see you shaking your head. What's on your mind, brother? Because we need to talk
No,
about Amani Arurie and
it,
this response.
the thing that bothers me about it is the coach, the special teams coach. They called for a block punt. That's what the call was for. It wasn't. It wasn't you weren't sitting back and Turpin, muff the punt where you can see most of the time and stuff like that. You hear a thump, and in your mind, I go like I play baseball more than anything. But in my mind, if I'm playing out on the field and I got to know the situation, right? And there's one
Yes.
out, two out, what I'm
Yep.
gonna do on it. If this, you got to play out the situation as an athlete in your head, not just what the coaches are. Because I'm guarantee you, Fossil told them this, and you saw Fossil on the sideline, you know. But that, and like I said, man, it's unfortunate for him. Um, like I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't. I just to me as an athlete, you just got to play in your mindset what the situation is, and you have to know, man.
That's right. That's right. Chip, you heard what he said? He said he heard a thump. And he said, what the heck was that? What you mean? What was that?
I don't
Man. Now
I
let me
don't
tell
know.
you something about AO real quick. He only played 8 games on special teams. Okay, so this could have been a problem. So Chip, tell us what you're thinking right now, brother.
Where are they? I think we need to go back to the days of Bill Parcells. You make a mistake like that, and you out of here. You know the situation. I don't care how many games you played on special teams. You went through Pee Wee football. You went through junior football, high school football, college football. You are a professional player playing on special teams, and you have better know the situation, or I'm getting you up out of there. He need to go. It's a shame he ain't gone yet. And is no. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about because
Yep.
this goes down to coaching right here. It's
Yep.
a coaching problem and it's a culture problem. And when somebody mess it up like that, I can't let you slide
No
on
accountability.
national TV wearing the star. You don't deserve it. Get you out of there. It's a wrap. No, sir.
No, that is why I understand we say we want McCarthy to come back, but there is no accountability. Oh, he's a young man. It's unfortunate. No, I'm sorry. We cannot make bonehead plays. This is what I'm saying in interview. We cannot make bonehead plays like that. I won't have it. You heard what Mike Singletary. I won't play. What he do to what's that tight end? Send him to the
Vernon
locker room.
Davis, Vernon
Can't play
Davis.
with him. Can't coach with him.
Send him to the locker room. I don't care what you are, but you would not be doing this on my sideline. Hit the showers. And that's the same thing should happen with him. But I understand. We have to be sensitive a little bit. But no, this is football. This is a gladiator sport. It's a gladiator sport. So, again, for him to say, I heard a thump, okay, that means Peter. And it was like 4th and 26, and the ball
Yeah.
had went only like 15 yards. You had no reason even touching the ball, man. So, but I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking. What took place? This guy wanted to be a hero.
Mm-hmm,
He wanted to pull a Wanye Thomas.
mm-hmm.
He wanted to make the news. He's going to try to grab the ball, and I don't know if he's going to try to scoop it and run it or what. I don't know, but it looked like he was trying to scoop it and run it. We didn't need no heroes. We needed you to get away from the ball. And for whatever reason, he did not do it, and that's what cost us. So, again, this is unacceptable to me. And and you telling me you're gonna stand by? Well, you just gonna stand by. You're gonna stand your little butt right outside them fences out there if that's how you feel about it. No, you just cost us the game. You done pretty much let the air out the team, if you ask me. Okay. So
Yeah.
again, guys, this is where we are. So
I,
go ahead.
yeah. No, I think what bothers me, even out of the whole situation, not just that comment he made, the whole thing of Jerry coming in after the game, asking Jim Fossil why he called, like, questioning why he called blocking that situation.
So
Are you
and that's
that? Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no. I'm just saying that really bothers me. This is the guy that's picking our players for this team, and you have the mindset to ask why we're calling a block punt in the situation because have you not seen our offense?
Yeah.
And plus the Bengals were kicking away from Turpin all night. That Fossil was doing what he thought he had to do to win the game, and it halfway worked out.
But you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I felt something special with Cavante if he would have got that ball. I don't know why. I said, "Oh my gosh, this
I
guy
don't
has
think
an opportunity." And even if and I'm not saying that I don't know, man. It personally with me, I was like, okay, and like you say though, PR Cowboy, that you looked at our offense. So what are we trying to do? But uh, I don't know, man. I was like, whoa, man, we blocked. It kind of threw me off that we actually went for the block. You know, just me because I just felt something with Cavante get the ball at least get in field goal range, game over. But after that, we still had opportunities, guys. We had 5 minutes left in the game, and we continue to keep coming up with wasted possessions. We continue to keep coming up with wasted possession. And PR Cowboy, you keep saying I wouldn't be mad if Mike McCarthy comes back, but dude, this been going on for since he's been here. These wasted possessions. And even though we can compare last year to this year. The schedule was a lot easier than this year. We knew this season. I said this season was going to be a challenge. But again, when we got to the postseason, what did we do? We did the same thing against 500 teams. We dropped the ball. We played terribly, and it just continues to happen. And that's the only reason I say we have to do something other than Mike McCarthy because when it comes to these, and like I say, it's a player personnel problem as well. But this is what the coaches have to figure out, if you ask me. So
no, and I've said from the beginning of the year, if this team was going to do anything, it was we looked at the talent on this roster, and we said is if we did anything, it was going to be because of the coaches. And the only reason I say yes, we had an easier schedule last year, but we still, if we're winning the division, that means we're ending with the first place schedule at the next year. So
yeah,
we went 3-12-5 seasons with the first place schedule, winning, winning, winning. What happened this year? Well, two rookies on the offensive line, no
yeah,
running, nothing to fix the running game, nothing to help your star receiver, and now you're playing these teams with that. And like I said, I'm not taking Mike McCarthy takes a lot of has a lot of because like you said, we're empty possessions, but it's execution. Because I know I'm seeing good play calls being called. It's the execution part that's not being
yeah.
performed at it.
Well, here it is, Chip. And also, but we say that we couldn't run the ball, but Rico
Yeah.
had 131 yards rushing. What? So, where does the problem lies? Is it
And
that
that
we?
it lies with the coach, and that's what upsets me the most is that number one, when were you going to get into a okay, we got 5 minute football type of deal, we got some time, we got a hot hand and Rico Dowdle tonight, rushing giving us too much. Let's go ahead and run this ball, let's pound it down their throat, eat this clock up, come
Yeah,
back and win them, leave them with no time. Is the play calling is disastrous up until last week. Last week, I said, you got to bring Mike McCarthy back. Bring him back. I'm with him. But no, Mike McCarthy, you don't know how to manage time.
yeah.
You don't know how to
Oh my
manage
gosh.
talent. Well, you can keep the team. I'm glad he didn't lose the team.
Yeah.
But was it some support members that helped him keep the team?
Right. Right.
I don't know. He got us to 25. God bless him. But I'm like this, man. If we're losing now, thank you for what you did last year. You had some terrible clock management times this year. You didn't play these. Nobody on the team hardly playing situational ball, uh, as well as AO. That's a coaching problem. It's a culture problem. Get him out of there. Get the players out of there. Let's just come on, go again. But that's it for Mike McCarthy in my view. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
could have
I
coached
hear.
better. You could
Yeah.
have coached us to a win.
Well, here's a comment right here. Said Pete and I had a conversation earlier about the different play style you have for Cooper than Dak. Is it time to give Dak a Cooper Rush? What? Wait a minute. And wait a minute. But Cooper Rush is not doing anything. He's not even throwing the ball down the field. So here's the deal, man. And I know we're gonna move on real quick. But we're playing scary football on offense. We're playing scary football. It seems to me, it seems we're playing what do you want to call it? It's hesitant football, I guess is what we want to call it, but it's just this it's there's no execution like you say, man. So um Pete, what were you guys talking about on this conversation here?
Yeah, he was saying that I guess people were asking him like, how come Cooper looks a little bit more efficient in these few games, you know? And I'm just like, well, we're still having the red zone problems. One thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
the second thing is it's quick passes. It's here you go. And the third thing is the talent. We're like we said at the beginning of the year, first part of the schedule is going to be tough. We get past, we get into Thanksgiving. It kind of leans into that easier part. So it looks a little bit better against this, you know, Cincinnati's defense not as great, and stuff like that. So, uh, it just comes back to like you said, like I said, I get the whole McCarthy deal. I'm not like I said, I'm not against it, or like I said, I won't be mad if they release him. I won't be mad if they bring him back. That's just my opinion on it. I could go either way with it because, like I said before, with this team, we need a veteran coach, a veteran head coach. I feel, and or a guy that's been a head coach in the league, not to say veteran, but a guy that's been a head coach in the league and had some success. But uh, and we've talked about it before, is when Peyton Manning, Tom Brady got into their later years, how they changed up the offenses for them, on based on where they were at in their career, and that's where I kind of brought that. Like that's what even though I get it, the 60 million tag, you feel like the guy needs to go and do something. You still got to play to what his strengths are at this moment in his career.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeffrey said he said when the other teams sense fear, they take advantage of it. Well, we had our opportunities and they saw that we couldn't take advantage of it, so they capitalized on it. So with that being said, guys, so we got the game coming up this Sunday, and it's been reported, barring a dramatic late movement in the betting line, the Carolina Panthers will be favored to win on Sunday for the first time since week 15 of 2022. What? You lying to me. You lying to me. I know darn well.
Hey, the
They figured
Panthers.
the Panthers. Oh
Hey,
my gosh.
I'm not like the Panthers been playing some ball, man. They have been. They gave
No.
the Eagles trouble.
Tampa
They
Bay.
they've been playing a lot better than what people give them credit for. I mean, they have. But I get where
Chill.
you come from, T.
Chill.
It's a rough day. It's a rough day on them Cowboy streets when you got a team like Carolina favorite to beat you. Some people will say they favored to
Pete,
whip us.
Pete, that is every reason that we have to make a change. When they taking a team that's 3 and 9, or whatever the case may be, as favorite, do we stink that bad, man, that they're going to take Carolina? Oh my God! Well, when we looked at the line, when the commentators before the game, they all picked Cincinnati. We gets no respect, guys.
None.
Yeah, that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at, and like we said, G, if this doesn't get fixed, I mean, we could be in the same boat here talking about this all next
Oh
year
my
too, man.
God, yo! So, and we're gonna end on this note, man. And because basically, this is where we are now. It's all about talking about how do we fix these Cowboys, man. And Pete, I don't know. We got 4 more games after this season. What are we doing? What are we doing? Give us some insight. What direction we're going to go? What's the first thing needs to happen? We can't wait to OTA. We got as soon as the season is over with. The next day, I want to hear some breaking news. Breaking news.
That's and that's the number one thing. That is the number one thing that got to happen, G. I don't want to hear we're making signs in September getting ready for the season. You're right. The first move needs to be made. I don't want 2 weeks, 3 weeks go on. Oh, are they going to keep McCarthy? Or are they going to bring somebody? Are they going to keep McCarthy? I don't need that to linger for a month.
Yeah.
You need to have that decision made up Monday or Tuesday following the season. That decision needs to be made. What you're going to do there. I don't need to sit around and let every other team that's looking for a coach go get their guy while you just what you do in free agency and sit around and wait for the bottom tier to become available, whatever that case may be. I don't need that to happen either.
Right.
Third thing, you got to go spend in free agency. There's money. There's ways to get some money to go do this. And my heart just tells me he's not going to do that. My heart just tells me he's not going to do that. He's going to depend on the draft, and that just tells me. Now, if we see a big signing, I'll be surprised. I'm gonna jump up and down. G, I'm gonna throw a party, have balloons in the background if he makes a big signing week 1, and put a sign. I was wrong,
Yeah.
but my heart tells me he's just not going to do that. He's going to play the waiting game on all this stuff.
Woo, that just kills my spirit, Chip. I don't know. To hear that he does nothing and he keeps McCarthy and everything in place, bro, that just gonna make, oh my gosh, that's gonna take years off my life. Chip, what do you think? What moves? How do we fix what we got going on? And what's the first thing that needs to happen, my man?
First thing, G, talking about years off our life, I was telling my young daughter this morning, I remember when the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl, and I was apologizing to her. I'm sorry that you didn't get to witness it, but it was the greatest feeling ever, and she couldn't believe, really, Dad? They ripped it? Yeah, they won
That's a
way
great
back
feeling.
then. Now, what we need to do, it needs to be a Black Monday. Absolutely. Let's look at who you're going to keep and lead run a coaching staff.
Yeah.
If you want to keep up, I trip out to the point where I get rid of McCarthy and keep Zimmer. Look at how he turned around the defense. I don't know. I'm just saying Zimmer come head coach, Al Harris defensive coordinator. I don't know. Don't spend too much on running back. You got Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
Get a second or third, fourth round guy to support him. Go get somebody else in free agency. I'm sorry, we can't do this. We got to move on. Zeke has been wonderful. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Set your offensive line the exact same way that Pete Joe told us earlier during the show. Move those pieces around, and the remedy is there. Get a supporting cast member. You need to spend some money on linebacker.
Yeah.
Damone Clark, he's lost his confidence. It's been good, Damone. We
Yeah.
get you out of there.
Yeah.
Let's bring back Kendricks. Okay, we might be. I think overshown with the mindset and the strength and the will. He's already looking to how he's going to rehab before the surgery. I think he might be. They say 12 months. He may be back Thanksgiving, Christmas next year. I don't know, but get you a linebacker here. Put your money in linebacker. Solidify your defensive front. Give my man a weapon. My man meaning number 4. A weapon. A number 2 weapon. Amari Cooper type of style. And let's go.
Yeah. 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 And that's good stuff. And I appreciate both you guys y'all strategies on how to correct this debacle that we got going on with our Cowboys. Um yeah, like I said earlier, I want to hear breaking news because right now at this point I'm already making phone calls for a coach. I'm throwing some nuggets out there. I'm throwing bait out there to where I will be needing a head coach for the Cowboys. And number two, whatever coach comes in here, I want him to have full control of the football team, not the organization, just the football team. I need my general manager to stay out of the players' meeting and the coaches' meeting. You do the business thing. You do the business side of this. Go make sure that you got enough tickets, enough seats, or whatever. But let my coach come in here and have full control. Now, this is something Ben Johnson had put out. He put out a message. He said now he wants to be able to uh, have control of his organization. I'm just paraphrasing, but also he wants to be able to accept the losses and how to correct the losses. That is what Ben Johnson said. Now, this is something that could happen, may not happen. But with that being said, I also say that, if we go Mike Zimmer way, Mike Zimmer has an opportunity to draft his players. I like Osa. I like Mozzie, but those are Dan Quinn guys. He wants run stoppers.
Mhm.
And they did pretty well to what they did. I don't know if he wants to keep them or whatever, but again, allow Mike Zimmer, if he's still here, to pick the players he wants. Okay. So again, you got Rico Dowdle. Keep Rico Dowdle. But just add to what we already have. Just build up where we have. Might have to reconstruct some contracts just to get what we need. Few free agents, a few draft players, and let's go with it. So it's nothing complicated about what needs to be done. Just do it. How about that? Just do it. So anyway, guys, that's where we are. That's my take, and that's PR take, and that's Chip Gaines Sports TV's take. And yeah, guys, that's where we are. So guys, final scores, and we're gonna get on out of here. Final score, Pete, start with you.
Cowboys 20, Carolina 17.
All right, Chip. What you got, brother?
I have confidence in the defense that we could keep these guys under 20. I got confidence that we could find 21 points somewhere. Cowboys 21 with the big win. Carolina Panthers only scoring 14.
All right. I got mixed emotion about this. If the Carolina do have a chance, we are playing up in Carolina up there. Only thing about it, I say the Cowboys win because Carolina Panthers have probably one of the worst run defenses. I see that Rico will have a 150-yard rushing game, which basically carries us over into the win column for the win. Final score, I would say 24-20 Cowboys. Well, anyway, that's our take, people. We want to thank y'all for stopping through with us and hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure to hang out and voice our opinions and hear you guys' comments. But again, this is where we come together and we talk barbershop talk. So with that being said, let's just kind of hold tight, keep our fingers crossed, and hope for the best for our Dallas Cowboys. With that being said, like I always say, stay safe and be blessed. Deuces, we out.